Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Modern Quantity Surveyor Key Skills to Have. Let's continue with the competency of client care and let's look into the complaint handling procedure CHP, as this is one of the examples that you need to demonstrate in practical life. Dealing with complaints is one example of client care competency that quantity surveyors should know and be able to apply in practical life. You need to have ability to present good evidence of how complaints have been received, recorded, managed and resolved. No one is perfect, and living in a less than ideal world, hearing complaints in the construction industry is not uncommon and inevitable at some point. So, a complaint is a statement that situation is unsatisfactory or unacceptable to the client. So, what are the most common client complaints? Complaints are due to the conditions not being met. For example, delays due to unforeseen circumstances, weather conditions, not meeting deadlines, cost overruns due to over budget, scope changes, and so on. Poor quality workmanship due to defects or not meeting standards, communication issues like misunderstanding between the client and construction team, and to failure with complying or the failure to comply with legal and regulatory requirements such as environmental or building codes. So why do we need to handle the client complaints effectively? First of all, effective complaint handling is a critical element in risk management for all professional firms, so as to minimize the reputational and financial risk, to identify and rectify specific problems within service, to protect against PII claims against firms, to develop customer relationship as part of good customer service, and in the worst case to prevent loss of clients. Now there is a RICS code of conduct for members and firms in relation to complaints. It says the members and firms should respond to complaints made against them promptly, openly, and professionally. Members and firms do not dissuade complainants from approaching an alternative dispute resolution provider, RICS, or any other regulatory body. And there is a complaint handling procedure from RICS, which also includes the alternative dispute resolution mechanism and to maintain a complaint log. It's recommended to understand any complaint of the clients fully before seeking to resolve them. There are two stages for handling the complaints as per RICS guidance. The stage 1, you need to acknowledge the complainant as quickly as possible, but no more than 28 days. Complaints should be handled by a senior person or designated complaints handler. Stage 2, if the firm is unable to resolve the complaint internally, then the complaint will be taken to an independent redress mechanism approved by RICS. The firm's complaint handling procedure must give details of the redress scheme to which it refers complaints. Successful complaint handling may have to consider other significant stakeholders such as the professional indemnity insurance and third-party redress schemes. So what are the key components of complaint handling procedures? Complaint is received and acknowledged in writing. Complaint is registered or recorded. Complaint is investigated internally by complaint handler and responded. Complaint referred to external independent redress scheme if not resolved. Now, the effective complaint handling procedure should be fit for purpose, made available to all staff and also be understood by them. We need to share it readily to complainants, review regularly by seniors, and agree with PII brokers or providers, and provide details of access to independent redress if firm cannot resolve complaint. 4 main routes by which you can receive the complaints are by mail, by email, internet, by telephone or in person. Firms should have the ability to manage all of these efficiently. Complaints could be made formally in writing or also verbally. To understand complaints, first, a misunderstanding at an early stage may cause additional avoidable frustration for all parties. That's why the starting point in resolving the complaint is to establish the root cause of the issue and do not leap to the assumption that there is a major problem. Remember, clients are much less likely to have the same degree of familiarization than a quantity surveyor. A complaint may just reflect the client's lack of understanding of the advice or information provided. So this is the first step to receive a complaint. What are the initial actions and responses? Understand the complaint's motivation. Listen carefully to what the customer has to say and let them finish. Listening shows that you respect or value the client. If complaint is through email, read the content carefully. Record the complaint details promptly and accurately. Repeat to show you understand the complaint to the complainant. Establish who is in communication with you and be careful to whom you give information out, as complaints are covered under data protection regulations. And finally, establish and adhere to a review process to ensure effective management of the issue from receipt to resolution. Now, to evaluate the complaint, there are several key steps. Evaluate a complaint in line with the CHP to avoid serious consequences. Engage promptly with the surveyor involved, consolidating all the relevant files. Assess significance and potential consequences of the complaint, such as financial or reputational. Refrain from defending unjustified actions which can worsen the complainant's attitude or cause. Seek views from legal advisors or insurers if the complaint is from legal or professional advisor. Verify conclusions and propose responses with a colleague or broker, potentially a requirement under the PII policy. Implement an audit process for complaint files to assure good practice and compliance. And when responding to the complaint, it is crucial that you check your insurance policy. Respond promptly within set time frames, sticking to the facts. Ensure the response directly addresses the raised issue and accompanying evidence. Empathize with the complainant's perspective. Adapt your tone. If applicable, explain any rebuttals, referencing relevant causes, clauses, or circumstances. Provide the complainant with the company's complaint handling procedure and inform the complainant about ADR options and to utilize before formal escalation, and direct them to the Ombudsman service, emphasizing its potential for a swift and effective resolution. This is a very good example that RICS has provided for the firms. They can maintain a complaints log so that they can demonstrate the tracking and management of a complaint, demonstrate what actions have been taken and when, identify any training needs, and reduce the number of complaints a firm receives or an individual receives. So, if a client came to you with a complaint, what would you do? Diligently address as per the complaint handling procedure and advise the client at the earliest. Complaints can be avoided by seeking feedback from clients throughout the entire instruction process. So, friends, learn at least one competency a week, and are you ready? Thank you and enjoy. Please subscribe to my channel, Modern Quantity Surveyor.